We just released a major new feature to the creation of a roundup, and I'm going to take you through it, and I'll explain it. What the way it used to work is that we'd always generate the same roundup, but with different content depending on the products, and actually AI would generate it, but it would always follow the same formula, where you would have top picks and pros and cons, and people were saying, oh, we need different templates, and instead of having different templates, we're now going to dynamically generate a roundup based on a set of preferences, and we call it focus. So you're going to guide AI on what to focus on by selecting the different areas that you want AI to write about. And let me take you through a real example here. You can see here that I'm going to use the Amazon direct integration. Of course, you can import products if you want, but just to show you here, I'm going to get some product suggestions based on my target audience. Let's say it's outdoor adventure enthusiasts, okay? And then you would click next, and then you'll see here in the target step here that I've also selected some categories, right? So that I can get some product suggestions. So I pick for backpacks and cookware sets and climbing gear. And then you can see here in the style step, nothing's changed. I've just left the defaults, and I'm going to go to the product step, and you'll see here that I've selected a bunch of products. I've picked here. This is a set here. Let's actually scroll down and we can look at it this way. So I've selected this pot. Pot looks interesting. I've selected a backpack, which is an essential for outdoor adventure. And the third product I selected is here. So I've selected these, this rope harness. Um, so all, three totally different products. Okay. So now let's just click continue, and you'll see here that we're going to guide AI on what to write about. So we have all those standard sections that you would want to include, and we're recommending that you include them, such as the top picks and the pros and cons of each product and the key benefits and user reviews, right? So you get social proof for products that you can include. But you don't have to include them. If we don't want what people say, or we don't want that top picks section, we just unselect it. If we don't want pros and cons, we can do that, as well. We can eliminate it. And uh, we also have here at the bottom suggested areas. And now these are dynamically generated based on the products you pick. So, obviously, you can see they're even pre-selected. So we're talking about outdoor adventure gear. Safety would be something that we would want AI to write about, and durability is definitely something that we want AI to write about. So these are pre-selected and they're suggested, but I don't have to include them. If I want to focus on just the safety features, okay, I can unselect durability, or I don't know. One of the products was a pot or something like that. So I want to know that it's durable. It's gonna last, right? It's gonna be able to handle harsh conditions in the outdoors. So let's just make this all about durability. And something to note is that the fewer areas, by selecting fewer areas, it's going to allow for more depth. So just because you select more areas doesn't mean it's going to write about necessarily a longer roundup. It'll just condense and make the roundup. It still needs to be something that's very digestible for a reader, because if it's so long and hard to read, it's not going to convert to purchases anyways. Because people will be like, "Oh, this is way too much to read. I don't have the time for all that. Like, just give me the key facts that are going to help me make a buying decision." So just to set your expectations, if you select all of these things, it doesn't mean that the roundup is suddenly going to be really, really long. It just means that it's going to condense all of the areas that you select, and not go in deeply into something like durability, if I have all these areas selected. But if I really want the roundup to be more focused on durability of these products, then I would just select that. So you're really not only able to pick what sections to include, but you're able to control the depth of content. So let's continue. And at this point, we're going to pick a headline. And we'll just take a step to the next step here. So it takes a second. There's a lot going on behind the scenes here. And let's get our roundup headlines. Okay, so now we have the headlines. So 3 essential outdoor gear picks for your next adventure. That sounds like a pretty solid headline. So now I'm going to click next. And we're just going to generate the roundup. And now we're just going to wait, and it takes about 60 seconds usually, and you can leave, close the browser, and we'll email you when it's ready, or you can navigate to other areas and it'll keep generating, or you could just sit here and wait, and it'll automatically change the status from generating to draft when it's ready, and you'll see a view button. So while we're waiting for that, we can see here that I should tell you that we have a new editor that's coming, and we've already put some of that live. So the editor is much more flexible in terms of our ability to generate tables moving forward. So doing all types of tables for pros and cons, and feature tables and comparison tables and different styles of tables. So that's the next thing that we're working on. But we've already got, you'll see there's already a new editor, and I'm not going to go into depth about the editor in this video, but we really see Roundups as its own type of content that requires a very unique approach to creating and editing a document. So the Roundups editor is like a thing, right? It's its own custom editor, and we'll get a glimpse of some of that now, but I'm not going to go into the depth of it. I'm going to just show you that here's our roundups that we generated with our new dynamically selected sections, and you can see there's no top picks. So if you've generated a roundup before, it always used to have top picks. That's now not part of the roundup, and if you go through the roundup, and you'll see that there's an emphasis on durability. So you see it here right at the beginning. And if you read through the, built to last, that definitely speaks to durability. And, made to keep up. So there's a real focus on durability, because that was the selection, that was the section that we selected, that we wanted, built to last. So we really wanted AI to focus on that. And then we still have our FAQs, and we have our comparison tables. And you'll see here that if I edit the roundup, here's our sort of the foundation of our new editor. And like you can, if you want to change the sizing of the images in the roundup because they're too big, you can just do it right from the editor, and you see they dynamically update. Yeah, so and tables, you'll be able to create tables, and we're going to dynamically generate tables out of content where it makes sense to generate a table. So not all content are going to be in tables, right? How we choose these outdoor gear essentials is not, or how we chose is, that isn't content for a table, but other things are. So that's coming up in the next video, and hope you enjoy the recent update to dynamically generate content now, so that your content can definitely speak to what's important to you and your audience. Thanks for watching.